This video is going to be about common questions. These are going to be general that I keep hearing and finding online and everything like that. And I'm going to go give my opinion on some of these questions. I have them written down here and I'm just going to off the cuff answer them. I'm not going to give links for anything or anything like that. I'm going to give a general idea on stuff. If people want specific things, I might be able to look them up if you're really interested. Okay? And I apologize in advance. I'm sucking on a cough drop so I don't cough during the video. Let's start out. Okay. I always see this question on every forum I'm on. The guy will say, I'm a noob, I'm just starting out. What's the best replica to buy? Now, this could be asked of 10 different people and you'll get 10 different answers from them. You can ask an airsofter that's been in it for a month, a guy that's been in it for a year, a guy that's been in it for over 10 years like me, and you're going to get different answers. You can't say, okay, this $500 gun is the best gun for you to buy because maybe his budget isn't there, or maybe when he gets the gun it's too heavy, or his play style doesn't reflect what the gun has to offer. And that's some of the questions that the people asking have to be aware of. They don't know this, so this is the best way to answer them is, have you ever played before? If not, well, this is you really should get your feet wet. Find a buddy that's got some replicas and borrow one and try it out. See if you like it. You might get shot and say, oh, screw this, I ain't going to play this game. Or you might have a heck of a good time and go out and spend $1,000 on guns. So get your feet wet. That's the best thing to start out. Budget, too. If someone says to me, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, I don't want to spend over $200. Well, okay, there you already got them limited to a gun which you could find. One of the cheap, like soft air ones are like 99 bucks, up to Elite Force or Lancer Tactical, they're under $200. Fox Airsoft has a starter package. Almost every place you go to has a starter package. But the best one I've ever seen is coming out of Fox Airsoft, and they give you everything. They give you BBs, a mask, or goggles, a mask. They give you a charger, the gun. You're ready to rock and roll. All right, you have everything you need to go out and play, and it's like under 200 bucks. Check them out. Third thing is, if the person might not know what their play style is, you should ask them. But if they say, oh, well, we're just going to get a bunch of friends together out in the woods, that's different. If someone says, oh, I want to gear up and go out to MILSIM events, that's another way to approach it, and you have to adjust what you're going to recommend for them. So getting that information from the player that wants to play is always a good way to start. Then you can always go through and say, okay, here's a $200 gun I think is great. Here's a $150 gun that'll do just fine for you. Combat machine, this will work. No, you want to get this. It's $300. You'll never have to buy another one. Or you're showing them an M4 and they say, I don't really like that. Maybe they want an AK. Or in my case, I would recommend, why you get an MP5. Playing indoors, get an MP5. Get a P90. Be different. Get something different that somebody else doesn't have, that you don't see that often on the field. That would be my suggestion. Another question I always see is, I'm a noob, just starting out. What sniper rifle should I buy? First of all, people watch too many video games where they see these, like, half-mile shots with a sniper rifle, headshot, and he kills like 30 people in one sitting. That's not how it is in airsoft. You buy an airsoft sniper rifle, and let's say, for an example, a teammate of mine, he had a $120 sniper. Out of the box, it shot okay, but he was outranged and outgunned by every AEG out there. Okay, so for $120, it was okay, but not really doing the job. He had to put another $200-some in it, and now he's got an exceptional sniper rifle that's hitting 250 feet, with .32 BB. So he put money in to get it to go. But it is a mindset too. Someone sees a sniper rifle and they're like running around this and that. That's not what a sniper is. Sniper is moves stealthily and gets one shot, maybe play all day, only get half a dozen shots. I try to get people to go away from being a sniper because it's not really the role that they think it is. I do have a sniper rifle. I've lent one to a guy and he like played for about a half hour with it and he said, "Oh, this is a pain in the ass. What else can I use?" And I gave him an AEG and he was having fun. So, as a first weapon, try to shy away from that. If you're buying it just to plink around the backyard, that's different. But if you're buying to play airsoft, if you have the right mindset and know what you're going to get into, that's different. Having a friend that has one you can borrow and test it out, that's also something good too. But as a first rifle, don't buy a sniper rifle. Okay, this is a big one I always get. I'm just starting out. What gear should I buy? What goggles? What mask? What mesh mask? What helmet? What? And so on and so on and so on. And they're asking specifics. For me, starting out, I was a paintball player. I just had a full mask. I had a Dye i5. Or, well, at the time it was Dye i3. But I got a Dye i5 then later. Full mask. So I had a full mask and I wore a bandana around my head with mesh around the back. And it gets covered all the way down to here. Wore a scarf. You know, I had a jumpsuit, the whole 9 yards. I was really well protected. Real heavy gloves, the whole 9 yards. So when I got into airsoft, I was figuring, oh, I don't need all that stuff. My first set of goggles that I got, everybody's saying, oh, these are great goggles, whatever. And I put them on, and I played for like a half hour, and it's like instant fog. I'm just wearing a hat, and then eventually I had my hat backwards, and I'm like, it's still fogging, it's a mess. I'm waving like this, trying to get them clean. Getting pock marks in the face all the time, and I'm like, yeah, this is not really something I want to do. I better get some kind of covering. Got a balaclava put on there. Still wasn't doing the trip, the ticket for me. And then my friend at the same game got his tooth shot out. And I got shot right here in the lip, right at the beginning of the tooth. Bloodied the lip. And I said, another quarter-inch higher would have took the tooth out. And I said, that's it. I'm getting a mesh mask. So I started out with a polymer mask covering here. And it would still fog instantly. So I said, I'm not having enough breathing holes. So I was drilling holes in it, and you know, it was a pain in the butt. I said, let's get a mesh mask. I got a mesh mask, put it on there. Good to go, bang slam. And eventually, through time and effort and all this, I got a helmet set up, and I've got the goggles, dual pane, thermal, the whole 9 yards. So when someone says to me, what gear should I buy? I recommend full seal goggles, dual pane, some kind of thermal lens in them, and a mesh mask, which you can also attach with zip ties so it's all one unit, and then you only have one strap. Helmet, it's up to the individual. I see a lot of people have no problem like not wearing a helmet. They just wear like a little boonie hat or a cap or something like that, and they're fine. But I've got shot in the ear a couple of times. It's not really fun, so I have ear flaps on my helmet. And but if you're starting out, just to get your feet wet, and I would recommend a specific goggle, like I said, thermal, dual pane, a mesh lower face mask, and gloves. That's what you need. Now, when somebody else say, oh, you don't need no gloves. Well, 60-some years of playing paintball and that and getting struck in the fingers, and they're starting to twist and turn and stuff like that. When you're 20, you're invincible. When you're 60, you're like, Jesus Christ, look at my hand. So, save the abuse, get some gloves on, okay? Because that little finger shot or that knuckle shot or right at a joint or a compartment hit. I got a compartment hit last Sunday, and it hit me right there. And it swelled my whole hand up because it didn't hit the knuckle. It hit between it back here in this compartment where all the veins and stuff are. And it just swelled the hand right up. I couldn't even close my hand. Didn't have my gloves on. So when someone says, what gear should I buy? Mask, goggles, gloves. That's your protective equipment to start off. You get that, then you can work on adding stuff later. Maybe a helmet, maybe another balaclava for your neck, or maybe you want to buy some kind of boonie hat or whatever. But that's just to start out. See if you like it. Don't go crazy buying a bunch of stuff if you don't think you're going to like it. Now, the one guy said to me, should I get a full face mask? Yeah, you know, if you want to get it all in one and don't have a problem, your di-5 mask or whatever the new one is, Tippmann's got a new one out there too, dual thermal pane, all this. I wore one for years and didn't have a problem, but that's just me. If you're under 18, a lot of fields require a full face that you wear, but it depends on the field. So that's a good choice, but don't skimp. Don't go out and buy a $10 pair of goggles and expect them to work the same way as a $30 pair of goggles. You know, your average goggle, decent goggle, is going to cost you at least $25 or more. You get something with a fan in it, you're looking like $100 some. So pay for it to start. If you don't want to go crazy, you can get some nice. Valken has some nice dual pane thermal lens ones. I forget what the name of them is. That's perfect. Lower mesh mask, one Tigris I recommend because you get a better cheek weld, and then some ArmorTac gloves, any kind of gloves, just to protect your hands. That's all you should start with. I'm getting a little out, so I'm going to move back into the questions here. I get this a lot, and I see this a lot on other bases. It's like, what BB should I buy? Or what BB weight should I use? Or what should I use in my gun? Again, you're just starting out. Everything's like weighted for 2.0s when they do FPS and all that other stuff. And some of the guns come with a small bag of 2.0s in them. Personally, in my opinion, anything 2.5 or above is what you're looking for. If you start out with 2.5s, they're going to work better for you. You're going to be able to adjust the hop up, get a little bit better consistency than the 2.0s will give you. Technically, when someone says to me they're joining a team, I say, well, what BB weight you using? Well, I have 2.5s. Move to 2.8s. And they might say, oh, wow, 2.8s? Why so heavy? I'm like, trust me. My team leader moved to .28s. A couple of guys on the squad moved to 2.8s, and they're like, this is phenomenal. We're cutting through brush, we're doing everything. Me, I started out 2.0s, went to 2.5s, went to 2.8s, and now I'm at 3.0s. I use 3.0s in everything. My pistols, my AGs, anything that I have, I'm using 3.0s. The only time I use a smaller weight BB is in my AEP stuff. I have little electric pistols that I use. Those I'll have 2.0s still because I'm only shooting short range with those. And the only time I use 2.0s anymore is in my grenades. But if you're starting out, 2.5 is the minimum. 2.8 I would recommend. And they say, what brand? Well, price is going to be a consideration. Somebody's going to look at it and say, wow, these are $25 for 5,000. That's a lot of money, where I can get this other 4,000 for 10 bucks. Well, look at what you get for 25 versus the 10 bucks. I would always point people toward biodegradable BBs. And I'm not going to get into that whole what they're made of and if they degrade and everything like that. Biodegradable BBs. I've used Elite Force, I've used Lancer Tactical, I've used BioShot, G&G, all good ones. Right now, because I can get them in bottles of 5100, the Lancer Tactical 3.0s. Because my 30 caliber I'm using, which I'll be using Sunday, takes 3,300 rounds in a box mag. So I can dump in like 3,300 round 3.0s, still have about a third of a bottle, left, or quarter of a bottle left to fill it up later on during the day. They're economical too. They're very well priced, and they're biodegradable BBs. So get 2.8s in a biodegradable. you'll never go wrong. You go to a field that requires bio BBs, you're set. If they don't require bio BBs, you're still thinking green. That's the way to go. And I have guys that were using 1.2s on a field recently, and I just couldn't help them out. When they handed me the gun and I saw the red BBs in there, and I'm like, he had a bottle of these red Crossman 1.2s. I said, nothing I can do for you, buddy. This gun's just going to shoot how it wants to shoot. Just full auto all the time. Have fun. So, next question. This one I get sometimes too. I'm just starting out, and my replica's broke. My AEG, my gas blowback, my pistol, my whatever is broke. How should I get it fixed? How do I fix it? What do I do? Now, if you look on YouTube most of the time, and you do a search for whatever your gun model is, like a CYMA whatever, CM whatever, and you put in the word disassembly or assembly or trigger problem or trigger issue, 90% of the time you're going to find something that'll directly relate to what you're messing with. Okay, that also means you're going to be fixing it yourself. If you don't want to be fixing it yourself, you'll be sending it back to a local retailer. Try and find somebody in your area. Like if you're on the East Coast, try to find somebody this side of the Mississippi. Shipping it out the West Coast is going to cost you a bundle of money and shipping it back. But if you find somebody, like say you're in Pennsylvania, ship it to Amped Airsoft or Hotspot Airsoft or Fox Airsoft. They're all on this side of the coast. If you're on the West Coast, ship it to Evite, ship it to Airsoft GI, any of the Airsoft Mayor stores. They're going to charge you to fix it, but you'll get it fixed. I always say, and this is how I learned, I had bought a TM MP5. Blew it up by trying to run a 9.6 in it. This is 10 years ago. And I decided that I'm going to take it apart and fix it. Well, sure, it took me like 2 weeks to get it apart and look at the parts and figure out what everything was. And I had some help getting it apart and, you know, figuring out what parts I need. But then I bought a second MP5. Not a TM, but a second MP5. It was a CYMA that was broke already. It was a boneyard gun. Someone had told me to do this. I bought a boneyard gun, and I took it apart and found out it was something really simple and fixed that. And I'm like, wow, I got this fixed. I can fix this other one. The TM was a little bit split clamshell. It was a real pain in the butt. Got it back together. It works like a champ. But I always did that. If I had a chance to get a boneyard gun for a third of the price and found out that it's only a wire's broke or a gear is stripped, I can just replace the gear and the gun is up working again. Having a gun to test and play with other than your regular one before it breaks is always good to do. Not everybody can do that, and the best solution, like I said, is going to YouTube or going to a forum and asking for help. Now, granted, there'll be the guys that'll be dicks and say, did you read the rules? Did you read the, the FAQ? If someone is asking for help, they have a problem, help them out. Don't be a dick. Send them a private message. Answer them in the email, the PM. Doesn't matter. Help the guy out. All right? It's one of those things that you share the wealth, then that person will share the wealth further on, and he'll help the next guy, and that guy will help the next guy, and so on and so on and so on. When people come up and ask me for opinions or advice or how to fix something, I'm more than happy to help. Okay? Because you can't learn if you don't ask questions and you don't have hands on. Some guys, I had one guy come in here and I showed him how to change the hop-up and bucking in his gun. He had a plastic hop-up. He wanted to put this new metal one, and he bought, and he bought a new bucking. Showed him how to take it apart. He took it apart. I showed him what to do. He put the new bucking and the hop-up in there. Gun's working like a champ. So I showed him how to do it, and he's been working on his gun ever since. So sharing my knowledge then helped him get farther ahead, and he's been helping people after that. So, like they say, pay it forward. Next one's a good one, too. I get this one a lot. I'm just starting out. Where do I find places to play? I can't find anywhere to play. Where's a place to play in this area? A lot of times you might not find something in your area, Or it might be an hour away, or 2 hours away, or 3 hours away to find an actual field to play on. Let's just say you got a group together and you need a place to play. Your best bet is to see if there's any local paintball places. This is a big thing that I am really adamant about. Working with a paintball place to start airsoft. I think if you propose it right and you talk to them and say, let's have an open play airsoft on your field. Maybe they won't shut down the paintball and maybe be sharing fields with paintball guys, but that's not a big deal. You get on the field, you get to use their refs. They might need a little bit more training. Maybe somebody help them out and say, hey, we want to play airsoft here. This is what we do. This, this and that. You got a local field, then you're going to play. It's great. The other thing, if you find an area out of the public view that you have permission, and that is a big thing, permission to be on the land. Go to the landowner. You got a farmer, and you say to the farmer, okay, we want to play airsoft here. We're not going to litter. We're going to clean up after ourselves up. We're going to use biodegradable BBs. We're not going to shoot any of your animals. We're not going to, destroy property that's there. And we're going to be playing in this area right here. We're going to be, not doing anything. Can we play airsoft? Show them the guns. Show them what you're going to do, how many people you're going to have, things like that. I've seen this work at a place like 45 minutes from here. The guy asked the local landowner, and he said, down over the hill, he said in the ravine, there was about 3 acres. It wasn't that big, but it was all woods. He said, could we play airsoft in there? Here's what we got. Here's what we're going to do. We'll clean it up. We'll do this. We'll do that. Everything will be fine. He said, okay, that's fine. He didn't want anybody driving down in, even though there was a road. He had a gate across there. He said, don't drive down in. You got to walk down in, which is not a big deal. And it was working great for like a year or so. But then people started leaving trash. They started cutting down trees. Different groups would come there and cut down trees. And that was it. No more. Can't use the field. So respect the location. You'll have it longer. If you form a team and you have a guy that has some private land that can do stuff like I do. I have 6.4 acres that I set up as our private field. It's all fenced off. Everything's good. It's safe. I'm like 300 feet from every particular, there's only 2 houses that it can be close to, and I'm 300 feet away from one and over like 800 feet from the other. It's all fenced in. We're playing in a set area. There's rules, regulations, things like that. We don't go outside that area. We're very respectful of my property. They are. So we have a good time there, and everybody enjoys coming up and using the field. If you can find something like that, it's great. There's a difference, though, between having permission and the phrase I always hear, oh, they know we're there. I have a guy that was playing on state game lands, and he said, oh, they know we're there. Oh, the cops know we're there. Oh, the cops never bothered us. Okay, that's fine. That's great. But what about that one time that, let's say, a hiker's going through there, or 2 or 3 hikers are going through there, and they accidentally get shot by those BBs? Okay, you don't have permission. The game warden comes up there, finds everybody, maybe confiscates guns, calls the cops. It could get nasty. So having permission to use the area, okay, is a major thing. Also, if you are in an area, your own land, you have permission to use, it's safe, you're not next to houses, whatever, letting local law enforcement know that you're having airsoft games there would be a good thing. Now, I've done that in my area. This other field we were at, they actually knew the cops were there. They told them, we're going to be playing airsoft right in this ridge area. Okay, there's no houses around here, and we'll have all the replicas in a gun bag. We'll go into the garage. No, they won't be out in public, the whole 9 yards. Explain this all to the police officer. He was good to go. I've had the police officers come up here, and he knows I play airsoft, so he comes up, he looks and checks and makes sure everything is good. That's where you want to do. You want to have permission, and you want to keep it out of the public view on land that they know you're there. The owner knows you're there. The cops know you're there, but you have permission to be there. Okay? Just like, oh, they don't bother us here, doesn't mean that you have permission to be there and be playing airsoft. Another one, it's just like they say, where do I find a team? How do I join a team? Best thing to do is go into, now I use Facebook a lot, and Instagram you could use, and Twitter, and the whole 9 yards, but no matter what social media you use, go in and say, I live in this area. I'm looking for a team, or to start a team. And people don't realize that sometimes there might not be a team in your area, but there might be a half a dozen guys that want to play airsoft. But if you say, okay, I'm in XYZ area, I want to join a team that's existing, or I'm thinking about starting my own team. Is anybody interested? You might get 3-4 people that are within 20, 30, 50 minutes from you, and now, bang, slam, 40, you got a team. All right, 2-on-2 scrims. You know, it's fun. Or you might go and say, I'm looking to join a team, and find 3 or 4 teams in the area within an hour of you that you could drive to and get some fellowship with them. I'm like, you might find 3 teams and find 2 are dicks, and one's a real nice group, or you might find all 3 are good, and you're just, okay, which one should I join? This one's 45, this is 42, this one's 38, but I like this one that's 45. Go with that one. You know, most teams will allow you to come out as a guest. We do that as our team. We, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area of northeastern Pennsylvania, you can come out as a guest twice. We allow up to 4, even though we stayed in the rules only twice, but you can come up to 4 times, come out as a guest. And this gives you an idea of what we're like, and we get to see what you're like and how you play. If you're a dick, we don't want you right away. But if you're a good guy and you like us, maybe you don't like us, then you won't want to join. So it gives an idea. But I say social media is the best way. Post your area. Also, you might want to post, if you're wanting to join a team, say your skill level. I've only been plinking around for a month, or I've never played airsoft before, I'd really like to get into it, want to join a team, bang. Or I want to start a team, I just got a bunch of airsoft guns, me and my one friend are shooting them, but we want to get a couple more people to help us out. You know, that might work out. So the next question is, also part of that, should I join a team? Good and bad. Okay, should I join a team? If you get on a team and they're a bunch of idiots, you're going to be miserable, and that'll jade you for the rest of your airsoft career. Or you could get on a team and have lots of fun with them. Getting on a team will give you like exposure to people in the same hobby, maybe give you access to try other replicas that people have. Like you have a low-end M4, maybe somebody's got a high-end M4 or an AK or an MP5 or a P90 or a G3, and you say, damn, this G3 is the cat's ass. I should get this. This thing shoots phenomenal. There you go. You've made a decision based on that. You have a guy that's a sniper on a team that, you know, say, hey, I bought this gun for $120. I put $200 in it for $320. This is how it shoots, and you shoot it, and the thing is like a laser out there to 200 feet. That might be your cup of tea. You get to see what it's about. That's why you should join a team. You're engaging with the same individuals in the same hobby that you are. Plus, you might have access to different things. Also, you might have access to a field that they have, or access to locations they play at. You go up as a group. It's a lot more fun when you go as a group. When you go by yourself, you usually put on with a bunch of people you don't know. You form friendships, but it's different than when you go up with a team. You go up with 5, 6 of your own guys. You know how you play. You know how you work. You got radios. You're doing this. You got your own maneuvers that you do. You all stick together. It makes a really fun experience. So that's why you should join a team. I've been rambling quite a bit, so I'm going to call it good on this right here. There are a lot of new people coming into the sport. And usually the big influx of people is from Christmas till the end of February, even into March. It's cold, it's wet, it's rainy, it's messy, it's nasty. It's after Christmas, they've got an airsoft gun, or they have money that they bought an airsoft gun. They want to get out, they want to shoot it, they want to have fun with it. So that's when you're going to see all these questions pop up. And being responsive to the questions and not being a dick to the person that's just starting out. You don't want to send a bad message. You want to send a good message that this is a community, that people want to help you out, they want to get you involved, and that they want you to have fun in this game. And that's a big thing to remember. It's supposed to be a game that's fun. Okay? You go to an event, you're there to play a game and have fun. All right? Everybody forgets those two aspects. It's a game and it's fun. All right? As long as you keep that in your mind, you should be good to go. And if you show people that way how to play, I think it's a good example out there for new players when they're coming into the sport. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if it's sunny like it is, but it's only 25, if it's sunny outside, maybe you go outside and have a good day. Wow.